So before I explain what happened, I want to say that I am aware I could be Tay here and I am willing to accept that. So for context, I F23 AM 15 weeks pregnant, and last week I was able to find out the gender of my baby for a reveal. My husband M29 and I have been together for 3 years and married for one. My husband's youngest brother, my Bill M24, has epilepsy, which is what put him in the hospital. My husband has two other brothers, but only he is relevant here. Now here is what happened last week. I was at the ultrasound alone when she said she could tell me the gender. I asked her to write it down for me and not tell me anything, and she was very kind to do so. I had previously talked with my husband. We decided that we wanted to find out together, and since he couldn't be at the ultrasound, we were going to do it at home. My mom took the envelope to a bakery, and we got cupcakes made, filled with blue or pink. I was very excited to do this with my husband, and the cupcakes were getting picked up on Sunday. It was just going to be the two of us, and I was going to send a picture to my mom, my meal bills, the rest of the family. Well, Sunday afternoon, I went to pick up the cupcakes and I left so excited. As soon as I walked back in the door, though, I saw my husband on the phone with his head in his hands, clearly stressed about something. I immediately asked him what happened, and he told me that his brother had a seizure while driving and is now in the ICU. It was his other brother on the phone telling him. Of course, I immediately put the cupcakes down and asked what he wanted to do. He said go to the hospital to see him, so of course we went. We spent a few hours there and met with his other brothers, one of which who said he going to stay with him. We ended up getting home around 8 p.m. My Bill in the hospital is very injured, but he is going to be fine, and nothing unfixable happened. The nurse told us he was actually very lucky, but the whole problem is that he has not been taking the proper medications. So when we got home, my husband was still very upset and rattled. I asked him what he wanted, and he said nothing, so I just made us dinner and we sat for a while. He talked about how he was so furious with his brother for not taking the right medications. I agreed, and we talked about how we were going to help him and how he was going to be okay. Around 10 p.m., and I asked him cautiously if he still wanted to try a cupcake and find out the gender. At first, I could tell he had forgotten about it, but then I saw the immediate no forming. In response, I started trying to convince him, which I should not have done. I asked him if he was sure, told him how bad I wanted to know. He asked me how I could care about something like that when his brother was in the ICU. I told him, of course, I care about him and it's a bad situation, but a cupcake and the gender would maybe make him feel better. He asked me why I give a fuck anyway. After that, I was like, okay, maybe tomorrow, and went to the kitchen to put the cupcakes in the fridge. My husband followed me and was angrily organizing things, which he does when he is stressed. I opened the tray of cupcakes to put them on a plate to fit into the fridge. I think this is when my husband thought I was going to do the reveal without him. He cursed and snatched the cupcake from my hand, crushed it over the sink, and when we saw the pink, he said, "There, a fucking girl. Are you happy?" I just stared at him and he threw the cupcake into the sink and stormed off. I was just so upset. I was so upset about my bill, about the reveal being ruined, about him snatching things and cursing at me. I just cleaned it up, took a bite out of another cupcake and sent that picture to my mom, acted like everything was fine. He went to bed without speaking to me. It's Wednesday and he's barely spoke to me, aside from one big apology Monday morning, which I would not accept. He's just been acting like nothing is wrong. He says that it's my fault anyway for being so tone deaf about the whole situation. Was I? AITAH?